All of this. All the lies about the British royal family, all the racism claims, all the desperate desire to bring down the British monarchy was all for this? For this?
Meghan Markle's Hollywood dream just swerved straight into Kardashian country. And let me tell you, it's giving desperate, it's giving thirsty, it's giving flop era. Remember when Meghan Markle had the palace at her feet? The title, the prestige, the global attention? Yeah. Fast forward to now, and her big win over the weekend was, wait for it, a blurry Khloe Kardashian Instagram story. Not a dedicated shout-out, not even a tag, just a half-hearted flicker of her as ever products floating in the background. You know what that is? That's not clout. That's crumbs.
Meghan Markle overnight finally joined the Kardashian club. And I feel really sad about it. For all my girls, starting with Kay, she posted, and we know she's looked up to Khloe and Kim and Kourtney for some years.
And let's be real, Meghan Markle didn't just send the Kardashians a few casual bottles of wine. No, no, no. These weren't Costco gift baskets. We're talking handcrafted, photo-ready, please post me on your story hampers, designed with military precision to scream luxury. Gold foil, silk ribbons, probably fairy dust sprinkled by underpaid assistants. This wasn't generosity, it was a marketing ambush. But here's the kicker. The Kardashians didn't bite. No glamorous unboxing, no cheeky Kim caption, no OMG thanks Megs, just silence. And then, Khloe, of all people, dropped a vague little story that looked less like excitement and more like regifting. That's right, word on the Hollywood streets, Meghan's precious baskets might not even have landed in the hands of the sisters she was gunning for. They could have been tossed around like a spare Yankee candle until someone finally said, fine, I'll post it.
It's surprising given those three actually work really hard, unlike her. But it's just quite pathetic, isn't it, that this is now the highlight of Meghan Markle's world. A woman who, quite literally...
Now let's pause for a second. Imagine Meghan, once rubbing shoulders with world leaders, standing next to Queen Elizabeth on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, now refreshing her phone at 2 a.m., squealing because Khloe Kardashian accidentally showed a bottle of her wine. That's not power. That's a downgrade. And here's where it gets delicious. The Kardashians never forget to tag. These women are the CEOs of clout. Every nail polish, every protein shake, every ugly waist trainer, tagged, promoted, monetized. So the fact that Meghan got nothing, no tag, no mention, wasn't an accident. That was a choice, a very loud silence. The Hollywood equivalent of inviting someone to the party but forgetting to add their name to the guest list. Brutal.
Was given the opportunity by the late Queen Elizabeth II to change the world. Now has her world changed?
And the hypocrisy? Whew. Meghan once accused the royal family of racism in that bombshell Oprah interview. She built her brand on moral high ground, calling out injustice. Yet here she is bending over backwards for the Kardashians, the same family dragged through endless scandals about cultural appropriation and tone-deaf comments. Suddenly, it's principals who? Because when the Kardashian seal of approval is on the line, Meghan's values seem negotiable. Let's not forget, the Kardashians don't hand out clout like free samples at Costco. You earn your seat at their table by proving you're a brand machine. Kim, Khloe, Kylie, they live and breathe their empires. Meghan, on the other hand, keeps popping up with flashy launches, disappearing for months, then expecting the world to bow. Honey, this isn't Buckingham Palace. This is Hollywood. And here, if you're not grinding 24/7, you're irrelevant by Tuesday. And here's the theory floating around that makes this even juicier. What if Khloe's story wasn't a kind gesture at all? What if it was a subtle snub? Think about it. Posting the gift but refusing to tag Meghan sends one very clear message. We see you, but you're not worth our brand's time. Ouch. Because here's the truth. Meghan needs the Kardashians, desperately. But the Kardashians, they don't need Meghan. They already dominate every social feed, every tabloid, every headline. She's trying to claw her way into their circle, but they're looking down from their billion-dollar empire like, cute basket, next. So what are we left with? Meghan Markle, the duchess who once promised to change the world, now reduced to chasing Instagram validation from reality TV royalty. It's not empire building, it's clout chasing. And the saddest part, she doesn't even realize the Kardashians have already given her their answer. Not with words, not with criticism, but with silence. And in Hollywood, silence cuts deeper than scandal. Because scandal keeps you relevant. Silence makes you invisible. And a vibe that screamed, "We met in the parking lot 10 minutes ago." Chrissy, bless her, was pulling conversational rabbits out of hats to keep things moving, while Meghan's smile had that "just hold still until the cameras stop" tension.
Listen, I live in New York City. I don't have counter space in my kitchen.
Right.
She doesn't know that. She's
a normal
never
person.
been pretzels.
Peanut butter pretzels.
And decanting them into another.
And then, the cooking. Or should I say, cooking. Meghan's knife grip looked like she was defusing a bomb, her cuts uneven enough to make Gordon Ramsay faint. She froze mid-onion dice to get off-camera coaching. This wasn't charming in experience. It was like watching someone take a driver's test without knowing how to start the car. The piece de resistance, her big cultural moment, a Nigerian-inspired dish meant to be a heartfelt cross-cultural celebration. Instead, it was a masterclass in surface-level Googling, vague platitudes about flavors that unite us, while butchering traditional techniques and swapping out key ingredients like she was prepping for a Pinterest potluck. Nigerian chefs online were not having it. Think detailed Twitter threads, annotated screenshots, and side-by-side photos of what the dish should have looked like.
And then Daniel does show up.
Poor Daniel.
Poor Daniel. And she doesn't know if he likes lifelong friend of decades, the before, during, and after, as she says, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't know if he likes tomatoes.
Right.
Doesn't know that he's left-handed. He's her makeup artist.
But the real twist of the knife came courtesy of Maureen Callahan, live on TV, breaking the segment down with the precision of a crime scene investigator. She rolled the footage, time-stamped the awkward silences, replayed the utensil fumbles, and flat out called the cultural presentation a masterclass in how not to engage with heritage cuisine. After that, even people who hadn't seen the episode felt like they had, and not in a good way. Social media detonated within minutes. Hashtag cooking catastrophe. Hashtag with love without skill. Not my kitchen. Clips were going viral faster than Netflix could push promo content. The most shared moments? Meghan standing frozen while Chrissy took over tasks, mispronouncing culinary terms, and staring into the middle distance like she just remembered she left the oven on at home.
By the way, not for nothing, I have seen people online, there are her defenders, whether they are paid bots, I don't know, but people saying, why can't you just leave her alone? She's just trying to make an entertaining cooking show, whatever.
Behind the scenes, whispers started. Netflix knew this wasn't up to par, but they banked on Meghan's name to draw eyeballs. It worked for 48 hours. Curiosity clicks spiked. But at what cost? Industry analysts are already warning that you can only sell the brand name for so long before people start demanding actual substance. And the cruelest irony? This was filmed back-to-back with Season 1, meaning every single criticism from her first go-round, flat energy, messy presentation, questionable hair choices, was baked right into Season 2. No adjustments, no growth, just double the footage of the same issues. So now, instead of being remembered as a cozy cooking show, With Love Part 2 has become a glittering, slow-motion car crash. A reminder that sometimes the biggest budgets, the brightest lights, and the most famous names can't mask the simple truth. If you can't dice an onion or hold a conversation, the camera will catch it. And so will the internet. This isn't just a flop. It's a brand moment, and not the kind you frame in the office. This is the kind you spend months, maybe years, trying to spin away. But with the clips already immortalized online, good luck with that. Do you want me to also add a fictional off-camera meltdown scene for extra dramatic punch? That would send this gossip piece through the roof. So scandalously messy, even the Queen's corgis are judging. This isn't just jam. It's a case study in celebrity delusion, branding gone bad, and what happens when royal fairy tales meet retail flops. Let's break it down, shall we?
I don't know what world she thinks she's living in right now if she hasn't stepped foot outside the sort of gates of Montecito to understand that I don't know if your average American is going to be dishing out $14 for a pot of jam, or it's not really jam.
So Meghan Markle was supposed to roll out this perfectly posh, pastel-drenched brand called America's Riviera Orchard. Think lavender fields, jam jars, and I'm not like other duchesses vibes. But plot twist, she ghosted her own brand name. Now it's called As Ever, which sounds like a closing line in a high school yearbook, not a bougie lifestyle company. What does As Ever even mean? And listen to this. The product rollout? A hot mess. She dropped a few jars of jam, literally jam, and crepe mix. But here's the scandal. There were barely any products available. Some say it was a fake sellout. Others whisper there was no inventory to begin with. Either way, she created a wait list for jam. Yes, darling, a wait list for freaking jam. I don't know who's advising her, but this reeks of trust fund marketing intern energy. No employees, no infrastructure, no plan, and yet she expects the world to line up like it's the new iPhone drop.
It's not this like amazing collaboration that's going to create a dynastical fortune for them. It's just them groveling.
Now let's talk about the Netflix deal, because this is where it gets juicier than that $28 jar of raspberry spread. So Netflix now has a product department. Who knew? And apparently, Meghan was slotted in to be the face of a little side hustle. But she didn't build a team, she didn't hire anyone until after the headline broke. And reportedly, she had zero ownership in the business. Translation? She's just slapping her name on jars and cashing checks. You can't call it a business if your biggest contribution is signing off on the font. This is all giving very, I woke up and decided to be a lifestyle mogul, with none of the grit. Meanwhile, she's out here dropping tea mixes and shortbread cookie kits like it's 2008 Pinterest core. I mean, did Gwyneth Paltrow teach her nothing?
I think that she was definitely they're trying to get some of that 100 million that they've plowed into this disaster back.
Now here's where the plot really thickens. Word on the very chic street is that Meghan was deep in talks to collab with Flamingo Estate. Think Aesop's richer, cooler, avocado oil drizzled cousin. It was supposed to be the move. Meghan plus Flamingo Estate equals match made in minimalist luxury heaven. But just when it was getting serious, she pulled out and then launched her own suspiciously similar brand, complete with eerily familiar fonts, a near-identical aesthetic, and a name so vague it could double as a forgotten perfume ad. Girl, did you really just clone their vibe and slap on your own jam label? I'm not saying it's a ripoff, but if it looks like a jam jar and smells like a jam jar. Meanwhile, let's not forget her other venture turned flop, the podcast, canceled, canned, cut like a background character from Suits. And now she wants to be a jam queen? Where is the vision? Where is the story? Where is the bee farm in Montecito? The real issue here is branding whiplash. Is she a rebel duchess, a disruptor, or the royal Martha Stewart? Because right now, she's trying to be all of the above and ends up being none of the above. If she just embraced the chaos and sold us tea of regret, a soothing herbal blend for when your podcast bombs, I'd say take my money. But instead, we're stuck with jam and confusion.